Hey guys, hey. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Charles on this. We're checking in. Tonight is a big fight. Miggity Mike Tyson. Why did I say miggity? The miggity Mac Daddy. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight. It's going down. It's actually starting right now. I wonder who's going to win this fight. This is going to be a good fight. It's funny. At first, I was like, I think because I got caught up in the hype. I was like, oh, now I got caught up in the hype. But before, I wasn't too enthused that Mike was going to be fighting an amateur. I mean, is he really a professional fighter? Well, I guess he's had a couple fights. I guess he's seen as a professional fighter now, Jake Paul? Or is he still, being that he's probably only had, a few fights? Has he had more than 10 fights? If Jake Paul has had more than 10 fights, then I guess you would say he is a professional, right? I mean, like, has he? But I guess they would call you a professional if you made money from said fight. I'm pretty sure Jake Paul has gotten paid for his recent fight, so I guess he would be looked at as a professional. But compared to Iron Mike Tyson, he is a amateur. I mean, Mike he's been fighting since the 80s, 90s, most of the 2000s. Like, he's had a solid 30-year career or more in the boxing game. He was boxing before Jake was even born. I mean, Jake is only 27 years old, 28 years old? Yeah, so Mike he's like the same age as my niece. And so, yeah, my niece was born in the mid-90s. So Mike had a fight, I believe the year that probably Jake Paul was born, he was fighting. Remember when Tupac got shot, met his demise? That was in 96. Which is probably the same year that Jake Paul was born. You know, the fight that Tupac attended before he met his demise was a Tyson fight. Tyson had actually just got out of jail, I would say. No, I'm sorry. Tyson had a fight right after he got out of jail. His first fight was in 95. Then towards the end of 96, he had his second fight. So Mike, did I say Tupac or Mike? Mike Tyson, both of them had just got out of jail. But Mike was out. His first fight was when Tupac joined Death Row in 95. Right after he got out of prison. And Mike's his first fight was in 95. And then, of course, he won that one. Then his second fight was in 1996, that's the one that Tupac unfortunately passed. He ended up meeting his demise at the hands of, who knows? I don't want to put their name out there, but who knows how he met his demise. But that's besides the point. We're talking about Mike Tyson and Jake Paul right now. And I think that Mike is going to win. The fight is starting right now at 8:05. I'm out here working, so I'm probably looking at the. I just don't want to see it, just in case Mike does end up losing. Which, if Mike loses, dog, I believe that. I hate to say, I believe Mike took a dive. I'm gonna say that. If Mike loses this fight, he took a dive. That's what I think. I think Mike took a dive if he loses this fight. I refuse to believe that Jake Paul is that sophisticated of a fighter in such a small amount of time to take out, even though they say the age is the big thing. Age is 58. Mike is almost 60 years old. He's actually a grandfather because he has older kids that have kids now. So Mike is actually a grandfather. So it's like he's a grandfather fighting his grandson. That's what it is. It's not Mike fighting his son. I guess if I'm 46 right now. So if I was to fight Jake, if Mike was my age, that would be him fighting his son. But Mike is almost 60. So, and Jake is barely in his 30s. So this like a grandfather fighting his grandson. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing I think that Jake Paul has on his side is age, and age. Because Mike has the experience, definitely has the experience. Mike has the, he definitely still has the ability. Mike is, what else, Mike? Experience. That's pretty much all you need. He's, does he, strength and all that? Mike still has the fighting technique. I don't know. That's the only thing really I think that he has on his side, Jake Paul, is assuming that Mike's age is going to take him, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I would hate that if this is a legit fight and Mike doesn't take a dive, I would hate that Jake Paul ends up catching him with a lucky punch and knocking Mike out. I think that would probably mess with Mike's ego. That would make, if it's not fixed and he ends up taking it on the chin, and end up Jake Paul ends up getting a lucky shot and knocking him out. I don't know if Mike can take that. Like this kid knocks him out. You know what I'm saying? Gets a lucky shot. I don't see nobody getting a lucky shot in on Mike. But they really want to make Jake Paul the great white hype. They really want to make him the great white hype, I think. And I think they really want to make him the next, like, the champion, like the face, because boxing has pretty much been, of course you got Nick Fury and who else? Tyrone Woodley and a couple other boxers out there, but nobody really has the face on boxing no more since Floyd retired. Since Mike retired, he's doing his comeback now with this fight, but with Mike retiring and then Floyd retiring, there's Floyd was the last, I believe, of the big. Well, then you got your boy, your lightweight, what's the kid name? Gervonta Davis. He was supposed to take over where I believe Floyd left off. Matter of fact, Gervonta Davis is Floyd's protege. You know what I'm saying? And he won that fight against. That was a big fight. He won that fight against that one Mexican kid that said that bad stuff about black people. I forgot his name. What's the kid's name that said what he said? Jason something. I forgot his name. So I would say Gervonta, but I don't know. I don't think but I guess he has a couple more fights to go. But something about the heavyweight fights though, the heavyweights. Mike had that corner for years, the heavyweight fight. Mike had people pissed off that he would knock people out so fast. And after they spent $60, $80 on his fights. I remember this is back when pay-per-view, you had to pay to watch Mike fight, knock somebody out. And people would be so mad that Mike would go in there and just put him away within 10 seconds. Mike would put him out in 10 seconds. Mike would have him out for the count in 10 seconds. Those were the old days of boxing. You had the pay-per-view. I believe Netflix is taking over where HBO used to. Because remember, people don't realize before they started doing pay-per-view fights, HBO would show a lot of Mike's earlier fights, like early 80s, I would say late 80s, early 90s, like 90, 91. It's not until maybe like 90, like 92, they started having people pay for Mike's fights, pay-per-view. You had to call your cable company and tell them you wanted to order the fight, and then you would see that $60 to $80 charge on your bill. I don't see how Netflix is making any money though with this. Like, I don't see nobody actually getting Netflix to watch this fight, or maybe they will. I don't know. Maybe they figure from the subscriber counts that because I'm like, how are they able to pay unless somebody going in with them on this fight, Netflix, how are they able to pay $40 million, which is absurd. If Jake Paul, is he the draw? I guess he's the draw, huh? I guess he's the one that set up the whole deal. How is he able to make more than Mike? Mike is the more experienced fighter. But I guess people would say Mike is not popular to the youth no more. Mike is only popular to us old heads 35 and over. You know what I'm saying? He's not popular to the youth. He's not popular to the teens and the college students and the 20-something-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? It's Jake Paul is a draw. Unfortunately, ain't that crazy that it's funny how time is. How somebody else is who's unexperienced, younger than Mike, getting paid more than Mike Tyson, the legendary Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just hope Mike don't lose this fight. I hope he don't get knocked out. That'd just be so devastating, and it'd just be like a little scratch on his legacy. I think with this, if this young kid ends up knocking him out. Somebody was saying that they may end up making it a draw. This may be a draw, and it won't even, nobody's going to get knocked out. They're just going to count it as a draw. I don't know. We shall see. What y'all think, man? What y'all predictions, man? Let me know in the comments. Well, by the time y'all watch this, it'll probably be already predicted. So, what did y'all think of the fight? I might as well put that question out there. What did you think of this fight? Regardless who won or lose, we don't. And this is hindsight, but yeah. What did y'all think of the fight? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, Charles Hernandez World. Appreciate that thumbs up button.